A lot of us have recently found out that the council won't be collecting our garden waste for the duration of the emergency, and this has been causing a good deal of consternation. So I thought I'd make a little video with some ideas of what to do with all of the stuff you're generating in your garden. So here I've got some lawn mowings, which I had earlier. These can either go in the compost heap as a layer. We're going to be layering them alternately with coarser material, such as, for example, ripped up bits of cardboard. I don't like to put any cardboard in my compost heap which has got a load of coloured ink on it. So, for example, I'm not going to be putting my cornflakes packet in. I'm just going to be using the normal undyed, non-shiny cardboard on my compost heap and saving the rest of the cardboard for when the council starts collecting it again. So what we would do, we'd put a layer of lawn mowings in, maybe about 2 or 3 inches deep, and then a layer of ripped up little pieces of cardboard. Alternatively, you can use your lawn mowings as a mulch, either on your borders, or if you're lucky enough to have a deep bed like I have, a no dig bed I should say, you can use that as mulch. I'm going to be using this probably for earthing up my potatoes with very shortly. When you're using it as a mulch, make sure that your layer is no more than 5 centimetres, that's 2 inches deep. Otherwise it will start to heat and that could damage your plants. And if you've got existing plants in there, just keep it away from their stems so that as it rots down, it doesn't cause the stems of the plants to start rotting as well. Now here I've got something which has been donated by my neighbour. She doesn't have a compost heap, so I'm going to be using her garden waste as well as mine. You can see we've got a mixture of hedge clippings, little pieces of stick. I think we've got some weeds in here that have been pulled with their roots on. So again, this would be ideal for going on my compost heap because there's a mixture of coarse stuff and high nitrogen stuff like grass cuttings and flowers that should rot down quite well. And you wouldn't need to layer that with layers of cardboard because you've already got quite a lot of stuff in it that has high carbon levels and low nitrogen. Here from my other neighbour, another load of grass cuttings and some old cut flowers. Nothing more interesting than that. And over here is some leftover stuff from my garden. You can choose to think of it as an asset instead of a problem. So here I've got a lot of sticks and I'm going to be able to use those to stick in my rows of peas and support the peas. If I wasn't growing my own vegetables, what I would be doing with little bits of wood like that, so I'd be getting my secateurs and I'd be snipping them into short sections, and those short sections can be used on my borders, just underneath the shrubs as a kind of mulch there, and that will provide fantastic habitat for beetles and for frogs and toads, and those will be your friends in the garden because those beetles and those frogs and toads will be running around at night, or hopping and crawling in the case of the frogs and toads obviously, and eating up your slugs. So providing them with a bit of habitat is not only going to enrich the soil for your shrubs and for your trees, it's going to be good for the rest of your garden as well. And then I've got some larger sticks here. Once I've taken the side twigs off, I'm going to be using those for things like marking rows or staking my herbaceous plants or anything small that needs staking. So you can see all the stuff that the council has usually been taking away, we can turn to good use in our garden and make it into an asset instead of a problem. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.